very fortunate that what does life come down to? It's to love and to be loved. Ooh. And yeah, I definitely feel loved. So yeah. So I suffer from multiple myeloma. Last year, while tramping on Mount Tongariro, I just became really breathless. I couldn't continue. So I backed out, I stopped on the tramp and went to Taumaranui Hospital. So initially they said I had smouldering myeloma. And some people can have smouldering myeloma where you haven't met the tolerances that call it multiple myeloma. Some people can have that for years. They expected for me it would be smouldering for probably until the end of the year. In fact, I developed fully symptomatic myeloma within a month. It's really sad. I spent a month, so I feel quite close to tears at the moment, funnily enough, but I spent a month feeling quite sad about it, mainly in regard to the children and, you know, the potential loss for them. But you get over that reasonably quickly, and I realised that I've had a pretty lucky life, a pretty extraordinary life. Daratumumab on the global scene is a game changer for multiple myeloma patients. It's a whole new way of looking at cancer treatment. They're fully funded in 48 other OECD countries, and they're expensive. But I'm not convinced. I don't know how much all medicines cost, but I'm not convinced that they're necessarily that much more expensive than so many other, you know, treatments that are funded and should be used. So for me, I had 8 rounds. I had a weekly injection, and the cost of those was $10,500.
So that's each per injection?
Per injection. It's ridiculous. I've got 3 kids, 23, 15 and 13. So we're talking about investing their future really as well. And it's a big choice to make. We're very lucky, and I constantly think how lucky I am. We were lucky to receive some support from family, amazing support from family to enable us to do that. I've been sitting in hospital having a treatment alongside someone who was having trouble getting time off work from their boss to go and get an infusion for a cancer that they had. So I know how lucky I am. We also took a gamble that eventually it will be funded for those coming out of remission. So if I get remission and then when I am no longer in remission, I have a relapse, the cost of treatment for Daratumumab in relapse, I think it's $240,000 for the first year, about $120,000 for the second year. So it's a huge amount of money for an individual or a family to have to take on. Like I say, my mother-in-law in Italy had multiple myeloma and she received Daratumumab. And I sort of look at Italy as a bit of a basket case economy, and you know, by comparison to New Zealand, which is a fairly stable economy, and if they can do it, why can't we? You know, it's about priorities. It's this crazy notion that, you know, we need a $30 tax cut. That $30 tax cut would take care of this. It's, you know, it's and more, not just this. It's priorities. It just seems like it's been a political football, and it's just sad that it gets used like that. In the scheme of things, that's not even one road of national significance, is it? It's a small part of a road of national significance. To go in with a promise to fund 13 drugs, I mean, it's unwise. I think that was unwise, but it was a headline budget line at the time, wasn't it? Or electioneering line. That's not to say I'm not pleased that they've come back with it, but I do feel like it's a fairly cynical sort of approach. It's all up in the air, so that could be that $200,000 pretty much from August that I have to find and fund. Just crossing my fingers for the whole community, really, that Daratumumab will be part of the equation here. It's not going to work for everyone, we know that, but where it works, it has, like you say, almost a miraculous response for many people, and it is a life-changing treatment.